Hi friends, welcome to my channel. I am Sunique and I have here what I believe to be the last mailing of the Total Tarot magazine subscription, so let's see if I'm right. Okay, so we have part 88 and part 89 with the Lo Scarabeo Tarot. There's something else in here. What do we have? Ah, a binder. Now, I didn't ask for a binder and actually it's damaged. The corner's damaged. I shall get in touch with them. Normally they are very good, you know, if you get in touch with them. They rectify anything that's a problem. Okay, so let's have a look at the magazines. And start with 88. Okay, so we've got the tuck box. Which one seems to be okay. It's the front, and there's the back. We have Strength and the Queen of Wands. And the cards with the scarab on the back. Look at those in a bit. And then parts 89. The second part of the deck. Okay, so we'll look at the deck first, which is what I like to do, and then we'll look at the magazines after. So given that Lo Scarabeo is the publisher of the whole part works, it only seems fitting that the very last deck in the subscription would be Lo Scarabeo Tarot. So let's have a look at it. So yeah, these are the backs with a scarab beetle there. Let's actually look at the deck itself. So here we have our fool coming out of his cave. A little white dog, red feather. The magician looking really happy. I like that magician. The high priestess with the beautiful blues and silvers. Gorgeous. And then the empress. Pregnant. In a very comfortable looking armchair. It's got an eagle on the belly as well. Just looking for the Venus symbol on here. I'm not actually seeing it. And now the emperor with their eagle. Looking that way. Very definitely looking that way. So yeah, we can use these directionally. See where the emperor's looking in the spread. There he wants more structure. Look at that hierophant. Wow. We've got the roses and the lilies. Cross keys. We don't have the supplicants. Lovers. And the chariot. Again, all these nice blues. And Strength. Very nice hermit there. And the cold weather. It does look cold. Very wintry scene. Not quite sure what they're actually holding here. The wheel. Justice has a baby. That's really interesting. Why has Justice got a baby? Hangman. And he's actually being bitten by the snake there. Death with his scythe. Again, a barren landscape. Temperance. Very big pot there. The yin and yang, the black and white. That's nice. And then the red and the white liquid. This devil. This mouth in the belly. They've actually taken the chains off from around the necks. That's unusual. They don't actually have them around the necks this time. And we've got a sword and a disc maybe, and the cup and the wand. Yes, we've got this. We've got the elements here in their hands. Tower. That's amazing tower. Loving that eye, that all-seeing eye. This time it's actually not on top of the sea. It's on land. Star. This lotus and the rose that are being watered. We've still got the ivy spur. That's nice. The tower. Well, this time the crustacean, which is a crab, I think this time, is on what looks to be a coin, and that there's a cup. These are lighthouses. Different image for the sun as well. No baby on a horse here this time. That's different. We've still got the red flag. Judgment. Oh, we've got Celtic crosses. And a timepiece there. Measuring out the hours. The world. Again, we've got this duality. And we've got the scarab beetle at the top as well. And the elements around the edge. And these are roses and lilies. And the world in their hands. We're going to start with the cups. I think I'm going to lay out the suits. It's very fiery energy in the wands. And gripping it with the right hand. Here, gripping the sword with the left hand. Here, holding the cup in the right hand. And also that's a right hand as well for the pentacles. I see elements from other decks in this deck. So here, the dolphins and the lotus flower. That's a bit like the Thoth image. I'll show you what I mean. The dolphins and the lotus. The lotus is there on this one and there on this one. This is very reminiscent, isn't it? And also the two of discs here and the two of pentacles there. So similar. You even have the crown there. Pressing grapes with their feet in the three of chalices. That three of wands is really interesting because that is that from the Thoth deck. Wow. So yeah, nods to the Thoth deck here. Again, Thoth. This is incredible. This is so incredible. Okay, so we have, for the Four of Pentacles, the fortress. And here, this figure is actually inside the fortress with those elements as well. See? Oh! And then the Four of Swords is there, look. Oh! Four of Cups. See the lotus flower and then the water coming down into the cups. So we do have a blend here of the Thoth and the Rider-Waite-Smith, which I think is absolutely incredible. The Five of Wands there. Even the wings. In the Five of Cups, we see here this pentagram inverted, and here the figure is actually sitting on the inverted pentagram. I can immediately see the Thoth there. That's Thoth. There, that's Thoth. I'll show you. Okay, so the Six of Pentacles. Amazing. Six of Swords. Also, correct me if I'm wrong, but I sort of see a little bit of Marseille as well, like here. Maybe. Anyway. Sevens are quite interesting, aren't they? The 8. The 8 of Wands is interesting as well, this rainbow. But what we seem to have here is some sort of a fireball or a comet or something that's landed here. Huh. And yeah, that again, that's reminding me of Marseille. 8 of Swords, look at this ladder leading out. I like that reference. And here we have definitely the Thoth. 8 of Pentacles. Very Thoth. So we're blending the different decks together, which I find really interesting. Okay, onto the 9s. John Travolta's still here. We've got sort of these curved swords here that you'd find on Marseille. We have the cups in the same formation as the Thoth. Yeah, this is such an interesting take on tarot. Okay, 10s, Tree of Life here. And we've got all the different sword hilts as well that we find on Thoth. These are really nice cards, aren't they? Okay, oh, Naive. And we have both genders here. So we have, let's see, we have female, oh, they're all females. Okay, let's see what I'm seeing interesting here. This one. In the Thoth deck, the Princess has this swan, has this turtle, but it's also got the fish from the Rider-Waite-Smith. Gosh, so the Knight of Wands is actually on a lion. Oh, I see. Okay. Yes, alrighty. So the Knight of Wands would be the prince in the Thoth. So we've got a lion just the same, but not on a chariot. So the Knight of Chalices is on a sea dragon. The Knight of Swords is on an eagle, and the Knight of Pentacles is on a very slow animal. But it can get up to speed, can't it, if it wants to. We have the cat still, and the sunflower, and the Queen of Wands. We have like, I think, a stork. Or is it a heron? No. But we're sitting on a lotus flower here for the Queen of Chalices, the Queen of Cups. Queen of Swords, wow, very Thoth. Holding the head there. There. Only this time the sword's up instead of pointing down. And we've got the crown of butterflies here from the Rider-Waite-Smith. Oh, the king's got the head here as well. Oh, that's interesting. And look at all this wealth here that the King of Pentacles has collected. There's a salamander. And this king here is looking over at this crab on its shoulder. Okay, so those are the cards. Very interesting cards they are as well. Alrighty. So let's have a look at the magazines. And I'll start with 88. And here we have the Chariot and the Hanged Man. Table of contents. Visit our online store. Teaching Tarot. So this is the second part of that article about teaching tarot. So planning, being prepared, setting goals and perfect timing. All about the Queen of Wands here, a charismatic, magnetic and inspiring friendly and generous with those she comes into contact with, and she's a teacher. So this is the Sorcerer's Tarot, and we had that with part 78 and 79. There's an example lesson plan. I might take umbrance with this actually, because I am a qualified teacher, and you would need a lot more than this little bit of a magazine to inform you how to teach. In fact, it took me 2 years in my teacher training, so you know, take what you want from these articles, and if you want to go further, I do suggest you get proper training. Just my opinion. Okay, but there's some little jumping off points here that you can possibly use. So, setting the tone, what you're really doing: be passionate, be creative, teach from the heart, keep it simple, reinforce the information, and listen. Okay, so now we're talking about advice. Major Arcana advice, and this is all from Linnea Weatherstone. Ooh, she's such a good tarot author, amazing. And it's talking about listening to the voice of the cards, and we've got here examples from the deck that we collected right in the beginning, the massive Art Nouveau tarot deck, which was beautiful. As we had advice from the Fool and from the Magician. Oh, from all of the Major Arcana cards, just a little bit of advice from each. So, what would the Lovers advise us? Choosing a new deck is like any other meaningful relationship. Your choice must be guided by your heart. A deck will call to you with its beauty or theme or symbols, a combination of qualities that says, we understand each other. Sometimes that initial connection doesn't hold over the long term. That's fine. Tarot doesn't demand fidelity. It's just as well. Some readers stay with the same deck for life, while others even use more than one deck in a single reading. And we have a spread called the Harmony of the Elements. So we have 5 cards for this spread, and it's to identify the source of the imbalance in the querent's life and to suggest a strategy that will restore harmony. Here's the layout, and of course using the Harmonious Tarot to find harmony. So all about the spread and the elements here: fire, water, air and earth. Combination of the elements. So what happens if you have all of those cards are in the same element, or only one element, or one's missing, or it's balanced, and what that can mean. So with the Tarot Deck Library on the Lo Scarabeo Tarot and the background to it. So it was commissioned to commemorate the 20th year in business, and this is their flagship deck. It's a tribute to their achievements and a powerful tool for divination, reflection and metaphysical study. So it says, with thousands of decks on the market, 3, the venerable Marseille Tarot, the dramatic Rider-Waite-Smith, and the scholarly Thoth command an unparalleled level of authority and recognition. So yeah, Lo Scarabeo Tarot draws inspiration from all 3 traditions. Yes. I thought so. We have a very, very tiny meaning for each major arcana here. I mean, 2 words. That's all we get, 2 words for each, which is a little disappointing. Anyway, the Knave and the Knight. Completing the Fool, a unique vision, structure and consistency, illustrating the cards and exploring meanings. So this is how the deck came to be. And then here's the minor arcana meanings, and again, just 2 words for each. So the Ace is refreshment and inundation when it's the Cups. When it's the Pentacles, it's blessing and obligation. When it's Wands, it's inspiration and inflexibility. The Swords, objectivity and slyness. So we're getting 1 key word for upright and 1 key word for reversed. an overview here of the major arcana, where to go in the magazine for the articles, and then what's coming in part 89. Let's look at part 89, the very last issue of Total Tarot magazine. And we have Queen of Swords and the Two of Pentacles. Okay, so let's open them up. So the third part of teaching, contents page, and again visit the online store. So how to engage with students so they have the best learning experience. Talking to your students. We have the Pre-Raphaelite Tarot to illustrate the article. It's a beautiful deck. Beautiful deck. But then I'm very partial to the Pre-Raphaelite style of art. Okay, so we have cheering them on, constructive criticism, and the learning journey, furthering your own education. Yes. When a student doesn't understand it, and wrapping up. Okay. Arcana reference, major arcana advice. So we're continuing on, telling you a little bit here about Linnea Weatherstone, who's an American author, teacher, priestess, and tarot counselor. A contributor to Llewellyn's Magical Almanac. Created the Wicca Oracle, astrological oracle decks, and created the Mystical Cats Tarot and the Victorian Fairy Tarot, and is author of Tending Bridget's Flame. Linnea lives in Portland, Oregon. Okay, so we've got some more advice from each of the cards in this beautiful Art Nouveau. What will the devil advise? Tarot rules can bind you in doubt and worry about doing it the right way. Some people say you should never buy a deck, but only accept one as a gift. Some people say you should never read the cards for yourself. Don't limit your own potential by handing over your power to other people's rules. Do you want to buy a deck? Buy it. Do the cards speak to you about your own life? Listen. Break the chains of bondage to any system of tarot that doesn't feel right on a gut level. Good advice. Okay, so more advice. Then we have the second part of Harmony of the Elements Tarot spread, where we have an example reading here. And it goes through that example reading, which is always useful. Synthesis of the spread, a variation, combining interpretation techniques. And then we've got the Lo Scarabeo spread. So we have another one. And it's a 9-card spread. Ooh. Okay, so Tarot Techniques is the second part of an article we already had called Life Stories, and illustrated with Tarot of the Angels. So we're talking about a person's past here, and what happened in their life, and how we can go forward into the future. Visual reference to the minors, always useful, so we can see the colour schemes. You can really see the oranges here in the one suit, so that's nice. Sort of the greens here in the pentacles. Where to go in the magazine for the articles and to practice your techniques. And then, a thank you. Thank you for collecting Total Tarot. And that, my friends, is the last one. Oh, that's weird, isn't it? I seem to have been doing this for so long, going through each of these. And I do hope you've enjoyed my walkthroughs and comments on Total Tarot magazine. But yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for watching. Until my next video, bye friends.